Welcome to Yury Experience, and today I want to talk about green grass and other side. As I do mention in a lot of videos, for example the previous one, I lived in 4 countries. I lived in Ukraine, Russia, Germany and USA, and currently I am still living in Germany. Except for that, I traveled to some other countries like Israel, Italy, Netherlands, some others too, I can't remember all of them, but I think there were more. And one of the funny things that I came across during my travels, during my living in different places, were assumptions of different people about other countries that I lived in. So in Germany, people make some assumptions about Russia. In Russia, they make some assumptions about USA. And in the USA, they make assumptions about the whole Europe because, you know, countries, continents. Yes, that was a small attack towards American education. Good luck with living with that. Obviously, there are bad assumptions. There always are bad assumptions, there are always bad stereotypes, but that will be a different topic for another video. Today we are talking about good assumptions. A green grass that is over the border, that is somewhere but not here. All of the good things that are over the border. Life that is greater, nicer, lighter, better, easier, more enjoyable, whatever, whatnot. Life is better on the other side. First, before really going into the previous sentence, we need to think about why do people think like that? Why do people assume that life is actually better in other countries or in other cities or maybe on the other street? Why do people think like that? Based on my experience, these assumptions are based on half experiences. What are those? These are not the whole experience where you really get to know something, where you really understand how something is built, how something is created. No, these are experiences where you kinda got a grasp of something, but not really, where you kinda know about something, but not really, where you've heard something and created your opinion out of that, but you only have heard something. You don't really have real experience of that. One of the biggest examples which actually brought me to making of this video was traveling. A lot of people travel to other countries. They visit maybe 1-2 places, maybe the best places in the country actually, and they think the country is great. That's great with no compromise. That is the best freaking country in the world. They have all of that, or maybe that, and all of that is great. Do you know how it is normally called? Pink glasses. Where you have pink glasses over your eyes, where you don't really see the reality, but you see it through the prism of your whole comprehension, through your own ideas, through your own expectations toward this country. Are these true? Can you really rely to your whole idea about the country when you're making decisions about the country? A lot of people make their decisions to move to other country based on half experiences, based on their travel experience, where they just go to the country for 1, 2, 10 days and then think, I understand this country, I know how it works, I know I want to live there, and then they move. And do you know what happens after that? In around 2 to 3 years, they understand, no, life is actually not like that here, and they become disappointed. And instead of blaming themselves for making such a strange decision, they decide to blame the country. Country is not the way that I expected, which is why country is at blame. Country is bad because country is not in the way that I want it to be. And thinking about that prior to moving to the country? Based on my experience, when people travel to other countries, they see only the best of the best, the cherry on the top of some cake. But they don't see all of the problems. One of the things that I do like to do when I travel is to go out of the center of the city. For example, I was recently in Munich, it's called Munich in English, and I was in a historical center and it's beautiful. If you want to visit Germany, Munich is definitely the place. It is freaking beautiful. But if you go outside of the historical center, it's kinda like everywhere in Germany. It's kinda like not very nice buildings, it's not really nice architecture. it's nothing to say about that. Historical center is great. But everything else, I could see it outside of my house. And my city is not that very cool. Which is why please try to understand whether your opinion about something, whether your decision about moving to somewhere is based on real experience or on half experience. Have you really met a lot of people? Do you really understand more or less how people work? Do you understand how economy of that country works? Do you understand whether there are places for you to work because you will need a job? Do you understand how politics in that country work? Do you understand more or less the social issues of that country? Do you understand how weather works in that country? One of the reasons why I don't want to move to Scandinavia is because of the weather. Not because of the people or something else, because of the weather, because I understand that I will not survive with 5 hours of sun per day. I like sun. Which is why, please, before putting the country on the top, on the very, very top of the list or whatever, think about that objectively. At least try to think about that objectively. There's 0% probability that any country is perfect in all dimensions. The country can be more or less perfect for you, but even there, I'm pretty sure there will be some things that you will disagree with, that you will not like. And if you want to move to the other country, please, if you have an opportunity, live in that country for some time. Like for 1 month, for 3 months, for 6 months. Something more than just travel there. Read about the country. Read different sources about the country. Read different things about the country. Find out what is important for you and whether it is existing in that country. Because there are a lot of people who move to other country and are disappointed in themselves, in the country, and overall in their life. And I do know these people personally. I do know a lot of these people who move to other country and are disappointed. Obviously not all of these people created great expectations and then moved to the country and were disappointed because their expectations weren't met, but a lot of them are. And you can hear a lot of stories. So I know personally a lot of people, as I told you already, but also you can hear a lot of stories about people who move to other country looking for better or for something, or because they expect the country to be in a way how they saw it during some periods of time, but it doesn't happen. It can happen. And it did happen for a lot of people. It can happen that you move to other country and it is exactly how you expected. But based on my knowledge, the probability of that is quite low. And if that works out, it's because you worked on yourself and on your life. And basically, in my personal opinion, it is easier to prepare yourself properly. It is easier to create your opinion properly, to create your opinion more or less objectively. So please, before thinking that grass is greener on the other side, think about the fact, does that other side exist? Do they grow grass? Maybe they're growing something else. Are there some dogs who are running around and maybe shitting around? I don't know. Like, there are a lot of variables to each country, to each city, to each situation. And if you only try to understand the situation based on what you hear from there, like people are shouting, or what you see through little hole, you will not get the whole picture. And that may cost you a lot. So please, as in everything in this life, prepare yourself properly and build your opinion on proper fundamental experience and not based on something like, I've heard this like that. I assume you know where is the like button. I think you also know where is the comment section. If you have any question or suggestion, please write in the comments below. You can also subscribe to the channel, but except for that, I see you on Monday.